Welcome back to Align by Design, the podcast where we explore what it really means to live in alignment with who you are and to trust in the whispers of your soul. I'm Flavie, and today I want to share a story that changed me at my core. A story about fear, resilience, and the undeniable power of intuition. Have you ever had a moment where every voice around you told you one thing, but deep in your gut, you knew the truth was something else? A moment where trusting yourself felt like the scariest, most reckless thing you could do, but also the only way forward. This is the story of my son. One of the battles I fought for him, and one of the moments I stopped listening to fear and start trusting myself. I still remember the moment it was placed on my chest. The rush of emotion, the overwhelming love, and a deep, unshakable knowing. Something was different. I didn't have word for it yet. I didn't have a proof, but I knew. My intuition was just screaming at me. And then, 1 week later, the battle began. Doctors, appointment, endless tests. No answers, only uncertainty. The more we search, the more fear they placed on me. Each visit, each new theory, feel like a hammer pounding away at my sense of stability. At 4 months old, they wanted to perform a biopsy. Full anesthesia, a tiny body, my tiny baby. Everything inside me screamed, no, no, no. Even my pediatrician said no, but the pressure was immense. My family told me I was being reckless. They said, what if you're wrong? What if your ignorance cost him his life? I was called irresponsible, unconscious, so many words. But I knew. I knew that putting his body through that procedure at such a young age was not the answer. Definitely not. So I stood my ground. I refused. And the battle just got harder. The hospital proposed drastic procedures, surgery that would have altered his life forever. 6 months, 9 months, 2 years. And then one day they shattered me. The diagnosis. I remember the moment I closed the doors, the doctor's office doors behind me. I walked into the hallway and collapsed into the floor. I sobbed. Why me? Why us? For years, I lived with the fear of the unknown. Will it get it worse? Will this be his whole life? I can't believe it. What else will they tell me is impossible? And then rejection. Not from the doctors this time. From the world. From strangers. From systems. From people who could not understand. From the kids who didn't want to play with him, hold his hand. From the moment he asked me, why me? From the time he told me he didn't want to live anymore. From the time he took a knife and tried to cut his hand. I was not prepared for this journey. But it was mine to walk. So, when he was 9 months old, I made a decision. I decided to walk away from the medical world. I stopped listening to the statistic. I stopped letting probabilities dictate our lives. I choose to listen to my intuition instead. And it has never, ever, ever, ever failed me. But this is not just my story. It's for anyone who has ever been told that the odds are against them. Anyone who has ever made to feel crazy for trusting their gut. Anyone who has ever stood in front of an expert, a loved one, or even a whole system and had to say, I hear you, but I trust myself more. Because when the word tells you what's impossible, you get to decide if you believe it. And if you don't, well, that's when the impossible starts to shift. That's when you start proving that you are stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined. So, how do you trust yourself when fear, doubt, and external voices are louder than your own? Here is what I learned through this journey. First, your intuition is never wrong if you learn to listen. Intuition is not always a loud voice. Sometimes it's a whisper, a quiet knowing, a feeling that won't go away. The more you learn to trust it, the stronger it becomes. Second, fear is loud, but truth is steady. Fear will scream at you, try to shake you, make you second guess everything. But truth feels different. It doesn't always come with certainty, but it comes with clarity. It comes with a clear, deep root sense of knowing, even when logic doesn't back it up. Third, people will doubt you. Trust yourself anyway. I faced resistance from my family-in-law, even my mom, my sister, from doctors, from people who thought they knew best. But nobody else is living your life. Nobody else carries the responsibility of your choices. So why let them dictate them? Fourth, strength is not about never feeling lost. It's about choosing to keep going. There were days I felt broken. Days I wanted to give up. Days I questioned whether I made the right decisions, the right choices. But strength is found in moving forward, even when the road ahead is uncertain. And fifth, your belief can shape reality. I didn't blindly reject medical advice. I choose to believe in my son, in his body, in our ability to navigate this differently. Belief backed by action can change everything. So here is what I want you to take away. When the word tells you something is impossible, you don't have to accept it. When fear tells you to shrink, you don't have to listen. When people doubt you, you don't have to prove anything. You just have to trust yourself. I don't know what impossible thing is standing in front of you right now, but I know this. Your voice matters. Your knowing matters. Your intuition matters. Listen to it. Honor it. Because sometimes the impossible is just waiting for you to believe in a different outcome. So before we close, I want to leave you with some questions to reflect on. When have you ignored your intuition and what happened as a result? Then, what is something you've been told is impossible but that you feel differently about? And last question, how can you start trusting yourself more, even in the face of uncertainty? Take a moment to sit with these, journal on them, see what's come up. And if this episode resonated with you, share it. Tag a friend who needs to hear that message. If you liked it, put a thumb up. You can subscribe. Let's spread the power of trusting yourself, because the more we do, the more we change what's possible. And until next time, stay true, stay aligned, and keep evolving.